name is Megan. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we talk about something exciting. Taylor Swift is releasing a new album April 19th, 2024. She announced it at the Grammys Award, and it was really kind of like random. It's like she wasn't really planning it, but she announced it when she won for Best Albums, which is Midnight's, which came out in 2020, I believe. No. Oh, wait, this? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Scratch that thought. Anyways, predictions and theories. So, her new album is called The Tortured Poets Department. And there's theories people have going around. First, I'm going to say my theory. So, my theory is it's going to be a series of, not really a series, but there's going to be, so just like when she released Midnights, so you have the original Midnights, which has 13 songs on it. Okay, this is like the original release. And then she randomly released a 3 bonus track exclusive edition on Target, which has another 3 songs on it. 2 of which is remix songs, and 1 which is a completely new song. And then she released the late night edition, which has 5 new songs and 3 remixes. So people are saying that she could possibly release 3 albums of the Tortured Poets Department. But I don't think they're going to be 3 different albums. I think they'll kind of be, like I said, closer to Midnight, which will be original, the one you can get anywhere with like 12, 13 songs on it, and then 2 more albums will add 3 songs to each album. I don't see her releasing 13 songs, so 13 songs per track, per album, although I believe there is 16 songs on the Tortured Poets Department. So, also I think because of the track list, it will be an album like she's never done before. Sorry. Coffee. It's a must, guys. If we're gonna just chit-chat about this, I think the album's definitely, because the album is like a black and white kind of like Reputation was, I think it definitely will be a Reputation / folklore / Evermore vibes because of the name of the songs and kind of what she was going on in that part of her life. She said that she's been keeping this secret for 2 years. So I'm going to quickly play the clip from you from the Grammy so you can see what I mean. So here's the clip.
I want to say thank you to the fans by telling you a secret that I've been keeping from you for the last 2 years, which is that my brand new album comes out April 19th. It's called The Tortured Poets Department.
Now, since she's been keeping this secret, she said for 2 years she was already in the works. Either I think she said she was making this album, maybe it was in the middle of this album or something, when she released Midnight. So when she released Midnight, she already had this album in mind, and she was already, I guess, working on this album. So again, I feel like this is gonna be so different from anything that Taylor's ever done before, just hence the name of the tracks and the collaborations that are on the CD. I think it's gonna be a mix of like sad songs and like happy songs. Basically, I think from the CD, from going through the track list, it seems to me that it is practically a breakup album, which we all know it's probably going to be about Joe, obviously. But this breakup album is going to be nothing like we've ever seen before. It's going to go everything from like the very height start of the breakup to the middle when you're like kind of realizing, okay, this relationship is over and you feel angry, hurt, till the very end when you're finally broken free from this relationship that has had a hold on you for so many years, and you're just finally this independent. You feel a sense of independence, a sense of relief that this relationship is finally over, kind of thing. So I think it's going, personally for me, it feels like it's going through the stages of a breakup. That's just my opinion, okay? I'll show you also the album cover and stuff like that in a bit, but I also wanted to talk about the three album theory that another fan talked of. Taylor Swift, Taylor Nation posted, it's been 3 years since the princess has started to take back her songs and her albums, which was her first one that started with Fearless. Her album Fearless, that was her very first one she took back, released Fearless, Taylor's version 3 years ago. Yesterday, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. Okay, I'm 99.9% sure. Again, Taylor Swift fans are clowning, they're going crazy. Reputation TV, another Taylor's version coming. It just, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's suspicious. Suspicious. With lots of S's. Like a snake. Suspicious. Suspicious. I can't even talk right now. I need more coffee. Okay, so I am in love with the whole aesthetic of the album, and it's just given me like these whole reader poetry vibes. It gives me really like Gilmore Girls study poetry vibes. Just like the whole feel of the album. It's kind of neat. I don't think I have it, but I feel like I need to read some poems, some newer poems, just to prepare myself for this album, just because it's the name of it and stuff like that. Okay, so US Magazine, this is theories that have been going around. So this says, this was posted on February 6th. Every theory Swifties have about the Tortured Poets department based on the track list. So let's go through this. So Taylor Swift goes on to say, when she won the Grammy, she said, "This is my 13th Grammy, which is my lucky number. I don't know if I've ever told you that. I want to say that thank you to the fans by telling you a secret that I've been keeping from you for the past 2 years." 2 years ago was when Midnights came out, so she was working on this album around the time that she released Midnights, which is that my brand new album comes out April 19th. And then she said it's called the Tortured Poets Department, and she's like, I'm gonna go post photos, and she's done. So she basically gave us the name of the album, when it comes out, and nothing else. So then it says, moments later, she shared the album art on social media. And I'll put the album up here in the corner so you can see. So you only see one song or lyrics to a song on one of the pictures that she posted. And then there's a black and white photo of Taylor Swift wearing like kind of like a sleek sheer top in bed. And then obviously Swifties are gonna go crazy and talk about album theories. Album title could be a nod to Joe, obviously. So in one of the captions, again, which I'll post up so you can see, all is fair in love and poetry. Swift captioned Swift captioned her Instagram announcement of the album, "A satisfying declaration coming from someone who has been criticized for writing songs about her romantic relationships." So she's also mentioned poetry in her music before, such as The Lakes, Sweet Nothing, but the Tortured Poets apartment could be specifically about Joe, who she dated him from 2016 to 2023. So during an interview with Verity in December 2020, Joe, Paul, and Andrew have, apparently this is news to me, they had a group chat which they called the Tortured Man Club. So obviously the connections left many of us to think that it's going to be about their breakup. Black and white album cover. So like I said before, like they said, the aesthetic is similar to Reputation, which features Swift's first songs about her relationship with Joe, which is why people could think this could be a second part to the album. Reputation was in black and white, and this album's in black and white. Then, after Reputation, Swift released her Lovers album, which was happy songs with like colors, and then you have on there songs like Daylight. So she sings a song, Daylight, which says, "I once believed love would be black and white, but it's golden." Again, the Tortured Poets Department, they're saying, could suggest the end of a golden era. The track number 6 is actually called "But Daddy, I Love Him," and a lot of fans are making connections to The Little Mermaid from that, which came out in 1989, the year that Taylor Swift was born, which is interesting. Swifties have drawn parallels between Ariel giving up her voice for love and Taylor Swift keeping a low profile during her relationship with Joe, who is very private. However, not everyone is convinced that song is about Joe. Some fans pointed to old photos of Harry Styles wearing a shirt, and the shirt that bears the Little Mermaid quote, as proof that he could have inspired the track. Swift dated Harry Styles from 2012 to 2013. Then the romance is believed to be the inspiration for several of Taylor Swift's songs, such as Style, Out of the Woods, and I Knew You Were Trouble. People have kind of hooked her song No More London Boy, which is the 5th spot on her new album coming out, could be similar to songs such as Dear John, White Horse, and You're on Your Own, Kid, among a lot of other tracks that are pretty sad from previous albums. So it definitely could be a farewell to a previous relationship that Taylor Swift has had with Joe. Joe grew up in the capital city and inspired the light-hearted lover tune London Boy. And also some fans think the album's opening track, Fortnight, which features Post Malone, could also be a nod to Taylor Swift's former British beau, which is interesting. Oh. Noting that Fortnite is apparently not used much in American language, and then it comes from a British language. Okay. So on the last track of her new album is someone called Clara Bow. So this is a photo of her if you can't see. So if you don't know, I had to Google it because I was kind of interested to see who this Clara Bow was. So So songs like the closing track Clarabelle, I feel like it could be either her becoming independent or her becoming independent of her albums or just something along that lines. They're saying it could also be misunderstood socialities, like her song The Last Great American Dynasty, which was on her album, one of her previous albums. It says Bo became a star during the 1920s silent film era and is widely known as the first it girl. So Taylor Swift is like the 2000s it girl, which is basically, as soon as she announced the Eras tour, I found that she was getting mentioned lots more in the paper. You're hearing a lot more about her. Her songs were starting to get played more again. Which is kind of neat. It also said okay. So Taylor Swift's Mirrorball track compares the idea of celebrity to a shiny shattered orb. She says, I'm a mirror ball. I'll show you every version of yourself tonight. I'll get you out on the floor, shimmering beautiful, and when I break, it's in a million pieces. And then Clarabelle will serve as a reminder to the cost of fame and public scrutiny, which I think is pretty accurate for a lot of Taylor Swift's more newer albums that have been released. So some more songs people have talked about. So there's a track called Florida, which features Florence and the Machine. Seems to be a reference to the location of Swift's first Eras Tour show after her split from the Conversations with Friends star in April 2023. So that was her first show was in Florida. It said Taylor Swift conspicuously changed the set list for the Tampa performance, swapping out Invisible String, which is romantic reference to Joe, for The One, and a tune about love that got away. Another Torture Poet song called Fresh Out the Slammer has fans thinking Taylor Swift will compare her 6-year relationship with Joe to a stint behind bars. She previously compared love to prison time in a 2017 song, Ready For It, which is, again, believed to be inspired by Joe. There's a few other ones. There's one called Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, which is track 10. The duo portrayed unhappy married couple George and Martha in 1960. Oh. So I'm finding this a very, I want to say silent era, but very old-fashioned era record. She's like really, really going back to like the 80s, even back to the 60s. Track 13 is called I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. She continued her tour after her and Joe broke up. She kept on continuing her Eras tour. Swift did say in Times in 2023, I know I'm going on the stage whether I'm sick, injured, heartbroken, uncomfortable, or stressed. That's part of my identity as a human now. Which I thought was pretty neat. Here, which I'll post so you guys can see, is the, in 3 different photos, Taylor Swift is holding up a 1, then she's holding up a 2, and then she's holding up a 3. Again, she states in her speech that she's been keeping a secret for the last 2 years. And she puts number up 2 when she announces it. But then she's also put up 3 photos for posts non-related to anything. Here we go. And then she posts the album cover with this note. Tick, 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 tick is stated 3 times. It's signed by the chairman, which leads us to believe there are more people in the department or more of something else. She also mentioned evidence more on that. The logo from the Torture Reports Department is the Roman numeral 3, which is blended in. In the limited edition CD, shows a file called the Artifacts with the file name the manuscript. This leads me to believe there are more files, and the manuscript is one of 3 files albums. Again, versions, 3 different versions of the album. Personally, I'm just gonna go with if it is a 3 album theory, it's a three special editions of the album. Which really, she only has 2 so far, but I don't believe the special edition of the Torture Poets Department, the deluxe edition that she posted, I don't think that had any extra songs. I think it had like extra papers or something. I don't know, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm just going crazy, and in the meantime, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm getting like this Gilmore Girls vibe. I'm getting this like this old 1980s, 1970s, 60s, like this old school vibe from her, which I'm loving. And people were saying they might play some of her new stuff on the Eras tour, which I don't think she will do, per se, unless she waits till like it's released. I mean, she could do one of the surprise songs on one of her songs from the Torture Poets Department as a surprise song on her tour, but I don't think it's going to be anything else than that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up.